Hi and welcome. Good day to all of you. How to solve this puzzle or this position? This is our topic for today, and this will be our first chess analysis. The first step that we're going to do is solve it yourself first, and later we are going to analyze and I will give you the answer. You may try to set it up on a real chessboard and do not make any moves. Try to do it in your mind. Visualize. Okay? Are you ready for the answer? Let's go and start solving this position. So what is the first step that we need to do for us to be able to understand the position and arrive on a correct conclusion or solution? The first thing that we need to know is to evaluate which side is winning by material and position. As we can see in this position, if we look at pawns, both sides has two pawns each, white and black, and white has an extra knight. That is 3 points plus for white. So white is winning by material. And how about the position? If we're going to take a look at the position, the black king is already inside the center or the extended center or adjacent center or extended center. And our knight is not yet, it's already in the center, but it has to enter the opponent's camp too. So we need to move our knight forward and do some attacks. Now, if we take a look, this is the area of the attack. So the center no longer works here. Yes, it may, but our focus now is how to attack this area. The area of the black side. Where there are the pawns, and the main problem is we have to find the most accurate solutions, because if we are going to try, okay, the first things that's come to our mind, and what is that? We will arrive on what we call force moves. So what are force moves? These are the obvious checks, captures, and attack. So let's try to do some of this. First, we bring the knight forward, and for example, we can check the king that way. So he may try to take the knight, and then once we get here, we can go to f5. Otherwise, if we go e7, that pawn will move and we cannot catch him anymore. So f5. And in this position, as we can see, black can go there, and if we go f7, this is the standard pawn endings, and we want to push our pawn and promote it. But here, this is a stalemate. It's black to move. That's a stalemate. So that is the trick of black. So for example, we can also go here, but then we cannot chase away black on these squares. So it's a big problem now on how are we going to continue. So this position is known to grandmasters, masters, and for those people or students who already studied chess and games, this is a draw position. Let us also try to check other variations concerning. So knight goes to e4. So king to f8 for example, check, goes back, we go here, we go there, check. So there's no real solution after taking the pawn or just checking the king. So how are we going to solve it? Now that we know that, wait, we cannot simply do the force moves, and it seems that it will not be effective on this kind of position. The next thing that we can use is that we can simply check for all, find all plans and possible moves. So what does it mean? For example, in this position, we can simply give away the knight on g5, right? So by giving away the knight on g5, he may try to capture it, or he may ignore taking the knight. So there are two possible ways that black can handle this position. So let's check. If he's going to take this knight, now we're going to go here. Black will play king h8, which are all inaccurate moves. Then king f7 suddenly became a good move. And here, if the pawn moves forward, There is a pattern that we can use here. We can get ideas from what we call king plus pawn endings. What is a king plus pawn endings? In this position, if this is white to move, the pawn can push forward, check, king will go to h7. Let's try it. And then check, and queen will deliver mate on g6. But the main question is that pawn ending can be applied on this position? The answer is yes. If this happens, white was able to deliver black in this kind of position, then white can do something that we call the pawn breakthrough. So what is a pawn breakthrough? If we are going to look at this position, there are two pawns for white and two pawns for black. But white can create a pass pawn. So the first move for white is to chase away the pawn on b7 by using diversion. So if the pawn takes this pawn on a6, this pawn will surely promote into a new queen. And don't worry about that. The queen can simply catch this pawn, or he can go this way and then take this pawn. So there's no real problem. The king is too far away from action. But if we're going to look at another solution, pawn to b6. So let's start it again. Pawn a6, pawn b6. The pawn simply takes this pawn. If the pawn takes that pawn on b6, then this pawn will surely promoted into a new queen. This is what we call the pawn breakthrough. Now the question remains that can we apply the pawn breakthrough and the king pawn endings in this position? The answer is yes. So here, pawn to h6 gave us a very strong plan of taking this pawn on g7. If he takes that pawn, this will be a push, and the king will go here, and then we simply checkmate the black king. There's a harmful material on h6 that is blocking the king's way. So let's take a look. What if he keeps on pushing the pawn on g3? So this is the time. This is one move mate, pawn to g7, and that is checkmate. So looking back, if we were able to get this position, then we can borrow ideas from the things that we already learned, like pawn breakthrough and simple king plus pawn endgames. But the main problem in this variation is that after the king, or after black took the knight on g5, if we go g7, black king will just stay on that square, and we cannot catch this pawn anymore because this will run away and became a new queen. So that is the main problem, and this is what we call pass pawn, a pawn which cannot be stopped by other pawns. So that is the main problem. So our moves here are inaccurate. But we got an idea. If ever one of the pawns can take the knight, we can have a pawn breakthrough, and we could go to a king pawn endings. So, do you know now the solution? Once again, I already presented to you all the possible plans and all possible moves that you can do on this position. But the question remains that what is the most accurate way to get to that plan? Alright, are you ready for the answer? So the first thing that we need to do is to bring the king forward. Not letting black go on f8. So black will be prisoned on the corner. So black has to move back and forth. And now we have to bring our knight not on g5. So not bring the knight to g5, but bring it on f6 instead. Make sure that the king should be on h8. If ever we arrive on a position, for example, I'll just make ways a move. If our knight f6 would lead into a check, then this is a bad position because he can simply take the knight, and we arrive to the position a while ago where it is a draw. But Going back, if this position, the king is on h8 or in the corner, this is the best time that we can put our knight to f6. And this is what we call semi-stalemating. We're going to, it looks like stalemate for black, but he has to take the knight. So this is also forcing black to take the knight, and we will create a pass pawn afterwards. And the next question remains, are we going to take this pawn or not? The answer is no. We will go to the king and pawn position where we can push this pawn, support our pass pawn, king plus pawn ending. So if he moves there, check, and then check the king. So that would be mate. So that is the solution for this problem, and I hope that you got the same solution. And I hope that you did enjoy our first analysis. So again, okay, review this position many times, and I'll be also presenting a lot more in our next videos. Hope to see you then on our next video. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and share it to your friends and your chess colleagues, chess friends. Thank you very much.